It's the sound that should strike terror into the heart of every homeowner.
I've seen damage from a couple $100 to $60,000, $70,000 worth of damage.
They can travel up to 1 metre in a single day, making their way inside your home and secretly eating out the timber within. And now, after one of the wettest summers on record, there's a 1 in 3 chance they've marched their way into your place.
We're flat out with termites.
The warm, moist conditions that we've had, all the rain, obviously the flooding, and now the really hot weather is an ideal situation for them to really start breeding and therefore needing a food source to build their nests.
They've just had an explosion of termites into houses because of the wet summer that we've just had.
Vanessa Carmody's lucky she discovered hers early.
Where did they come from?
Basically, they'll have a nest anywhere from 80 metres away in the root crown of a tree or in the trunk of a tree, and then they'll travel through. They've come up through your floor, along one of the bearers and straight up into this section here.
They've eaten the soft wood of the door and window frames, quads and architraves.
Termites have fairly got into that. I can certainly hear them.
But they've done it to 3 rooms.
But they've also come through this bedroom into the quad, which is just up in there.
Oh, wow. I was a bit surprised. There's areas that he found that I didn't have any idea.
The damage bill here is only superficial, but Rod hasn't been so lucky. Termites have eaten out a section of beam that's holding up his roof.
Termites have come up through the wall and they've come up into that beam and they've chewed the laminations out, and we've had to treat that. In the meantime, prop up that beam.
What you can't see, and what worries Rod, is how much damage is behind his walls.
They won't actually give me an estimation of how much it'll cost. They'll actually give me an hourly rate, and that's the scary part.
Best estimates put the repair bill at around $20,000.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like an undertaker. You know, someone's got all this damage happening and you got to tell them, and you know they're not going to be happy. So, yeah, we get tears.
We were sitting in our family room one night and everything was quiet. We were sitting there reading and we could hear a little crackling sound, and just listened a bit closer and immediately realised we had termites in the timber.
Glenda McDonald is vigilant about termite checks, and just as well.
Just a gentle touch and you'll see it flexing. The termites will feel a bit stressed when you do that, so you'll probably hear them.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the termites that are banging the mandibles, or their nippers, on the mud tracking and sending signals back up and down to each other.
She has active termites in the timber of her bay window, both in the wall panelling and the seat. Thankfully, the repairs will be minimal, but it all adds up to what is $1 billion cost nationally for homeowners.
It's the largest cost that there is, beyond flood, bushfire, whatever there might be. It's termites that do the major amount of damage.
The average termite repair bill is $7,000. There's few of us with that sort of cash just lying around. So Archicentre recommends we now double those annual inspections, getting them 6 monthly instead. And Steve says make sure the technician is not relying on a purely visible inspection. He uses this Termite device.
Where we can't see that there's any discoloration or anything's eaten out, we can put that there. That sends a microwave into the timber. If there's anything walking backward and forward in front of that, we'll pick it up on the monitor.
And in between inspections, follow Glenda's lead.
We are vigilant. We go around and check the skirting boards, window sills every couple of months.
Because, like everything, prevention is far better than a costly cure.
You know, they can do a lot of structural damage in a very short time, and I think a lot of people know that feeling.